Hello, hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I wanted to talk about fentanyl, synthetic drugs, and China. Reason being is because there are a lot of synthetic drugs that are coming from China, and of course, they're really cheap and they're on the black market. However, China has been known not to have the best, not to be the best at having like legitimate stuff, like knockoff stuff. You know how you can get something knockoff from China, your knockoff bag or whatever. Well, they have knockoff drugs. Problems with China knockoff drugs is that one ingestion or one just one time that person could die. So I did a little bit of research, and the first thing I noticed was this order. This is something different, but this article came out right here saying that the murders are spiking. And so, just in case if people want to know, you got COVID, so a lot of intensive care units are packed. So they definitely want to decrease that, but also know that people are also just dying from violence. So I just want to let people know that. So if you want to go to the article and look it up, you can go to msn.com and then type in this title. You can read this one. The author is German Lopez. Another thing is we already know that overdose are coming in because of the fentanyl. But a lot of people got to understand that the fentanyl they're saying it could be of a synthetic. Okay, fentanyl is like a heroin or what they would call like. Okay, let's explain it like this. You have biopharmaceuticals. Those are technically medical drugs that are produced with biotechnology. Okay, so I found this article that says China's biopharmaceutical strategy is a challenge or a complement. So what it was saying right here is that over the last 2 decades, China has successfully challenged American industry competitiveness in many industries. But as China has gone all on its Made in China 2025 strategy, the challenge will increasingly be to U.S. advantage and innovation-based industries. However, America still maintains competitive advantage over many nations, including China, in the biopharmaceutical industry. In fact, since 2001, while U.S. manufacturing jobs have fallen, the number of biopharmaceutical jobs has increased over 20%. So, okay, so fentanyl, what they were saying is that it's laced with something synthetic, right? Because that's what that's what a biopharmacy is. Biopharmaceutical, meaning that you can make it using technology. And that's what China is doing. China Go right here says they want to make it to where, everything is made in China. And then we see over here people overdosing. And so can we say fentanyl is a synthetic drug? I came across this right here from the FDA. It's a warning letter. You can go to www.fda and put in that code right there. And that's the date. So this is 3 years old. But the question is, is China making synthetic drugs? Yes, that's what the biopharmacy is. Okay, now what's wrong with synthetic drugs is that China has been given a warning label that said During our inspection, our investigators observed specific deviations, including but not limited to the following. 1. Failure to document known deviations and out of specification results and conduct a thorough investigation. 2. Failure to exercise sufficient controls over computerized systems to prevent unauthorized access or change to data, and failure to have adequate controls to prevent omission of data. So that means somebody could go in there and say it's 100% fentanyl when it's actually just 1% fentanyl and 99% synthetic. Okay, so 3, failure to record activities at the time they are performed. So, I mean, data integrity remediation. And conclusion, they were cited. They are responsible for bringing everything up. And then it just says right here that they had to let them know within 15 days what corrections was done. But it says if they had to delay it, they just need to state their reasons. So for all we know, this is still ongoing, or, you know, China is telling you right here, we trying to come up. So they can actually start paying off folks after a while. You know, just like with these court cases where we see a lot of people that don't have good character, and the next thing you know, they get off, and we understand now people starting to pay the DAs and the cops and stuff, and they can get off. I mean, on one side of the fence, being able to kind of, not bribe, but, pay people off may work in one instance. Let's say, for example, with Nicki Minaj and her husband and that lady. Let's say if Nicki Minaj wasn't that celebrity, that mean girl, and she would approach that sister as if she had sense, she probably could have gave her like 10 million, because she got it, to recant her sentence and then pay off the judge and the cop, so that man can have that taken off her sentence. But now she's insulted to the woman, and she comes off condescending to the point to where I wouldn't deal with her. Even though she's a celebrity, she has bank, she still doesn't have the mindset to appreciate another human being, or so that's what she presented herself from that sister perspective. And not just what my opinion is or what I'm alleging from what I see. But long story short, paying someone off can't help, because in that sister case, if she was to get that money, she would be able to survive, her and her family, a lieu of all of the harassment that she's been going through. So of course we don't want to be out here with sexual offenders, but we talking about something that happened when folks was teens. So I don't see anything wrong with him pursuing that. It's just that they just rubbed that sister the wrong way, and it seems like stuff could be done. But nevertheless, let's get back to this. I think we need to be very, very careful that China is not on a come up. You have too many men out here that need money. Women, be careful dealing with these guys, because a man may be okay with selling his body to white people that maybe are what they call race play, where black man gets with a white couple and they call him all kinds of racist slur, and he's doing that for the money. Be careful that racist couple, whatever it is, that fetish, be careful that they not luring in your brothers, your uncles. If you want more money, bring me an unsuspecting woman. Bring me your ex. Bring me that girl you don't like, so we can give her something laced with or whatever, fentanyl or lace fentanyl or whatever. It's a synthetic. It's coming from China. China does not do the best when it comes to being legitimate. Just put it that way. They do knock off like no other. But the real McCoy, we have to stay buying stuff out of the U.S. and try to advocate for cleaning up these drugs here in the U.S. I mean, we had it clean before in the 70s, before Nixon. Why can't we just undo that? They've been talking about that lately. They said they wanted to reverse that rule. And so I think we need to hit on that a lot. Also, lastly, before I go, I wanted to talk to you about reality TV. People keep on talking about, especially if you're a woman. I don't know if you've been hit up by a male relative or even a female relative talking about reality TV, some old junk like that. And they start talking about, oh, you're not going to get paid, but you'll get paid afterwards. And then you start hearing people talk about how they didn't get paid and now they all red in the face and want to pull their hair out. All right, so let me tell you how it goes, guys. Now, reality TV, from my research with this article here, Yahoo News, so we could say it's legitimate, but it's realize that all these articles are always written from the author's opinion. So that author may be swayed with one perception over another that may not necessarily agree with yours. So that's why I try to say read in between the lines. But right here it tells you that bachelorette and other competition style cast members receive no compensation at all. Now this was pertaining to like the Bachelorette. However, it was saying like looking at reality TV as a whole. And so, for example, they pulled out Bachelorette, and as it was telling you that Bachelorette, is they don't get paid. So what happens is you have to quit. Many of the contestants, they quit their jobs. They have to spend all this money on their own wardrobe. Now they may get a fancy house to stay up in, but you could probably find some fancy person somewhere in the neighborhood and befriend them and get in their house. I mean, what's the point of that? But they say a lot of people use that as a platform to build up their social media accounts. And it seems like there's better ways to go about that. Let me tell you why. You should think twice about that. Because as you can see here, it was telling us that, I'm sorry, I have to find that word. Okay, right here. It was telling us that considering reality TV costs nothing almost to make, that it's a cash cow. It says right here, the biggest cash cows to the networks, meaning that they making more money off of reality TV than anything else. The sitcoms and the other shows, and what other kind of shows are they? It's sitcoms and what else? And primetime dramas right here. Sorry. And so I would just want to kind of throw it out there. Women, be very careful that this doesn't turn into some sort of a human trafficking sting. Same thing with the race play guys or women, whatever it is. This all seems connected to where they can act like, these white folks, they really like you. They was hanging out with me and they paid me $1,000 and they had respect, sex with me, and all I had to do was just listen to them calling me racial slurs, but I got paid. But now they want me to find someone else. That's actually being predatory. And should be illegal. It is illegal, but the intent is not as much as illegal as the actual action. But nevertheless, they'll get stiffer laws after a while with this human trafficking, with people being bound to the home and just having the wrong people in your home where they can put some fentanyl up in your drink and they didn't know, and taking folks out of here. So we need to be careful. And then you got a lot of people out here lying, talking about they want to put you on a reality TV show when they just really need some pretty women around them. Some men, they not really getting off with the ugly chick or the other chicks or whatever, or they need more. I don't mean to say chick, women. And whatever it is, just protect yourself. You know, if you do know, reality TV do not pay. Do know that it does pay for some people, but the majority people, nobody is a Nene. Nene is Nene. Everybody else is not. So that means that, you know, it's not going to work like that. But there's another story on here where the girl says that, well, the person said that they was trying to get a job, and because they told them that they was on this show, The Bachelorette, they was told that they couldn't get the job. So that's another thing you have to be careful about, is going on this kind of platform. You can't really work anywhere else. You know, nobody might want to have a former Bachelorette contestant working the receptionist desk or working the accounts. They may think you're just in it for motives that's not going to benefit the company either way. And you might have, I mean, you probably have to let people know if you go into a job, think about it. That yes, for the last 5 weeks, when you know however long the filming time was, I was actually over here doing Bachelorette or whatever reality TV show it was. So guys, I'm just here to say, it's hard out here, I know, with the politics at jobs, but think twice about this reality TV, because just because it's hard to get a regular job and you have too many people out here doing weird stuff to get money, and they may include you without your knowledge, and he bring you over there to this race play stuff and talking about you gonna get money, and that you just laid out the whole time, and he'll sit there and act like, oh, we ain't get out the car, you know, or something weird. Who knows? Just keep your eyes peeled, ladies. But thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Have a blessed day. Till next time, family. Bye.